The following words are a gift to us from Atum O'Kane. Deeply rooted in this living present moment, perceiving with a clear, open, spacious awareness, beyond fear and doubt, abiding in luminous equanimity, the path opens before me. Deeply rooted in this living present moment. Right here, right now. Perceiving experiencing with a clear, open, spacious awareness. Beyond fear and doubt. Abiding in luminous equanimity. The path opens before me. The teachings of the Buddha reveal or are predicated upon wisdom and insight, and love and compassion. It is true to say that our birthright, perhaps the goal of life, is to manifest love, to manifest compassion. And the Buddha, way back 2,600 years ago, offered a very systematic training to develop love, compassion, sympathetic joy or delight, and also equanimity. As this meditation continues, don't hesitate to let your inner translator use a different voice altogether. Let your inner translator also translate the vocabulary into a vocabulary that is native to you. These words are not the experience. They are that which points in the direction of the experience. And so now, please, with tender, kind, loving, please come home to the experience of your body sitting here. A very convenient place to begin the practice of loving is with oneself. For some people, this is challenging. And so one can begin with what's called a benefactor. A person who has been very kind to you in this lifetime. Not a person with whom there is romantic or sexual interest. Maybe someone whom, when you think of them, your heart just softens naturally. Maybe it was an uncle or an aunt or a teacher. Letting their face come to mind. And simply saying words something like this. Maybe say their name and then, "Oh, I hope you are really happy." And by happy, we don't just mean the mood happy. We mean happy as in free from suffering. Happy in ways that don't come and go. And so, imagine your benefactor, content, happy, safe, free from pain. May you be free from fear and danger is another classic phrase. May your life be filled with ease. May you be liberated. If something else comes to mind, maybe there's a way you know they are suffering, in which case love converts to compassion. And then there's the wish, the longing, the intention, the seed planting. May you be freed from this pain and suffering. Now, simultaneously, one can practice mindfulness of in-breathing and out-breathing. You know the way the chest and abdomen magically rise and then fall with each breath. Now notice, of course, the mind has a mind of its own, and it may wander a lot. This then becomes another object of loving, of acceptance, of compassion. We might even speak to the wandering mind and say something like, "Dear wandering mind, I'm not going to fight with you anymore. I'm not going to hold as an aspiration that you will go away. Instead, I'm going to be allowing there to be room for you too. Ajahn Sumedho, an elderly Theravada Buddhist monk, used to say, "In love, there is room for everything." So, dear wandering mind, please wander as much as you need. And whenever I awaken to the fact of your wandering, I'll let you go, and I'll choose my own primary object, which could be, may my mentor, teacher, friend, may they be really happy. Now, there's no coercion or violence in this kind of practice. Perhaps you can remember sometime when your mentor or benefactor was kind with you. Sometime when they listened deeply. Sometime when they offered you some needed correction. And some people's minds visualize very easily, and others not at all. So I will suggest, if you can envision their face, do so. But if you can't, it doesn't matter. Because what we're doing is planting seeds of love. We are enhancing your mind stream's capacity of experiencing there being room for everything. You might imagine a golden or white light surrounding them. You might imagine them in one of their favorite places. But again, these are not essential. What's essential is we hold the intention, may this other person be experiencing the ripening of fine karma. May they be at ease. And we could do that for a short time or a long time, or just the right amount of time. And then we could come to offer loving thoughts to this being that we think of as myself. Feel how stunningly alive your body is. From your head and scalp to ears to cheeks, to the neck and the arms, the hands. And sometimes when we say things like, may I be really happy. May I be free from fear and danger. May I live with ease and grace. Sometimes it can seem silly or undeserved. Many or most of us have a long list of failures, ways that we have been less than our ideal self. Sometimes, remarkably, we actually hold profound grudges against ourselves for things we did or did not do decades ago. One of the great truths is that the past is actually over. It is gone. In experience, what happened yesterday is as far gone as the dinosaurs. It's over. And so there's some very simple practice we can do with that, which is to remember that the past is over. And tell ourselves, I forgive you. As much as is possible in this moment, I release any anger, hatred, animosity toward you for anything you've done. Notice when the mind wanders. Come back. The mind is really quite a hodgepodge of memories and thoughts and emotions and simple unconsciousness. And so we might plant another seed. I love you, but this time with your name at the end. I love you. And you might undertake this as a kind of mantra practice. You say internally, I love you with your name at the end. And then you watch what happens. I love you with your name at the end. And we can practice this and remember that the words that are said here don't have to be the words that you hear deep inside you. Your auto-translator could change this voice to a woman's voice, to the voice of a person with an accent that you'd remember, to the voice of the Buddha, maybe coming as the sound of the wind in pine trees or the sound of the crows sometimes. And there's a very simple but incredibly powerful visualization that you can do. And it can be very elaborate or very simple. You could imagine that there is a doorway in your heart. And through that doorway, through the little cracks around it, comes brilliant golden light like the sun coursing through fog in an ancient forest. And we could imagine that this is the love of the Buddha, or Kuan Yin, or Mary, or Jesus, or whatever chosen ideal you have. And let this golden love transport you through time, through distance, and find yourself at the bed where your mother is lying, giving birth to you. Now, your relationship with your mother may not have gone well. It may be in a process of healing, or she may be long gone. For this, that doesn't matter. Because one thing we know is that when she was giving birth to you, that was the only thing on her mind. And so you can be there as the Buddha, as Kuan Yin, as yourself, and watch as your head crowns. Watch that pulsing with each push, and then see your own little face emerge. Probably sort of blue, pretty messy with meconium and blood, but here you are. And watch, perhaps you get to cut the cord. That's quite a thing. Set yourself free. And as soon as you can, hold that little baby, yourself, against your bare chest. Hold yourself, feel yourself breathe. What do you say? Maybe you can't say anything because you're crying so hard, and that's fine too. If there's no words, usually the tears mean, I love you, I adore you. I'm so glad you're born. Count your little fingers and toes. Everyone else does. Notice that they give you an APGAR rating of how healthy and strong you are. Hold yourself and let yourself drift off into a reverie. How precious it is to hold yourself. I love you. May I be free from fear and danger. May you be free from fear and danger. May you live with ease and grace. May you live happily. May you be well cared for. May you have stamina for the times when your care is imperfect. All summed up in I love you, with your name at the end. I love you. If you practice this I love you, you can do it while driving in the car. You might discover quite surprisingly that you see yourself in the mirror and spontaneously find yourself saying, or find someone saying, I love you. And there's more you might say, and maybe your dreams will tell you what you'd really like to say. But among the things that many people discover are, from now on, I will always be with you. I'm sorry I was away for so long. I love you. I will protect you to the very best of my ability. Let your breath be somewhat deep, breathing in, I love you. And now, come home to your heart, to that golden light flowing in, suffusing your body. Let this healing light and energy and warmth flow down from your heart into your spleen and liver and intestines and reproductive organs and your legs, your knees and thighs, your calves and feet and toes. And letting this energy flow up also into your shoulders, into the heart itself, down into the arms, the elbows, the forearms, the hands, the fingers, and up into the neck and the jaw, the cheeks, the nose and the eyes, and the forehead and the ears and the scalp. Let I love you suffuse, permeate every cell in your body. Why not? If there's a skeptic in there, let the skeptic receive all the love for a little while. There's a place for the skeptic. There's a place certainly for rational thought. And it's there that we might ask ourselves, given the nature of the world, how could it be true that at the base of it, fundamentally, that which remains when everything else passes away? And we might, if it helps, remind ourselves what science tells us. This entire universe began somehow mysteriously in a great flash, and out of nothing came everything. Out of nothing came galaxies and black holes, frogs singing after the sun goes down, elephants, tigers, peaceful, loving connection with each other, and the horrors of war that arise because we forget who and what we really are. One truth, one story, is that everything which is born passes away. When we think of this, cherishing the thought of enemies becomes more and more bizarre. We all get a very short time to dance on the stage of the world. We go through extensive somebody training after our birth, and we get to be somebody. And sometimes we're trained that my somebody group is better than or different from the other somebody group, and so we have to fight them. We have to have antipathy toward them. The Buddha's teaching goes in quite the opposite direction. We practice. Seeing another person, we realize, oh, she, he, they are a friend. And we come to accept friendship. We spend some time observing a person we don't have feelings about, a neutral person, as it's called. And we discover that they too are obviously worthy of our love, because they too suffer mightily from birth to death. It's possible, and very entertaining, to walk through a mall or some other busy place and leave your heart open and see those who attract you, those who you have conditioning to push away from, those who there's judgment about. Watching the kaleidoscope of your own mind, and in this as in all other circumstances, planting seeds of acceptance and love. Many humans develop strong attachments and affections for their pets. Wonderful training ground for metta, loving kindness, and compassion. So we can remember a time in your life when you felt very loving. When I do this, I often imagine particular moments in the lives of my children when they were infants, lying with them on my chest and listening to the music of cosmos, the vastness, recognizing the preciousness of this meeting. At any moment you want, you can imagine you are in a comfortable favorite chair, holding yourself as a little infant, or holding yourself at any other time in this lifetime when the going has been really rough. Pat your head, I love you, with your name at the end. And as our heart opens, we can also take this practice into some very challenging ground. What about those people who are who are victims of war right now? And what about the people who are ostensibly creating the war? Is there room in the heart for such people. And this is perhaps the realm of quite advanced practice, when our hearts have been really broken open, and when we become more and more wise, and we see a very somewhat shocking, I'd say, and unusual truth. And that is that no one chooses to be who they are. We are living out the karmic gatherings of our past. And so it doesn't mean that we accept or bless or admire what's done by some very sick, very blind human beings. But why waste the energy of hating them? Think about it for a minute. Is there someone you hate? Someone you've shouted slogans about recently? Someone who, when you see them on the television, you clench your teeth and say angry words? Try this and see how it feels. Does it serve you? Does it serve you to be on a side, or to be angry about being on a side? It's possible to work with great determination, even to be a full-time activist, but not to be motivated by hatred, to be motivated by love and compassion. And so I won't dwell there too long, but there's a final blessing, a final incantation, which goes like this. May all beings be free from suffering. May all beings, our brothers and sisters of the air, the earth and the waters, may your beloved cat or dog, a child, a parent, may the people who today are subject to extraordinary suffering, perhaps all the people who will die today, on average, 150,000 people a day die on the earth. 150,000 families have a new death. On average, 175,000 babies are born. Great joy, great delight, sometimes great complexity. May the dying be held in our hearts, and those being born be held in our hearts. And I like to remember the great whales swimming around up in the Arctic, filling their bellies with krill, getting fat, ready for the great journey next spring down to Baja California to have their babies. May the ants in their anthills, may the albatross following behind the ships, may the fish in the ocean, may all of our green living friends who free up oxygen for us, may they be free from all forms of suffering. And so it is from ourselves to our loved ones, to our mentors and benefactors, to the people in our lives who are neutral, the people we hold, the people who carry our projections of hatred. May we all remember our true nature, planting seeds of loving kindness and compassion. May we go through the world with greater and greater ease and joy. May all beings everywhere share in the merits of our practice. May all beings everywhere, without exception, share in the merits of our practice. Deeply rooted in this living present moment, perceiving with a clear, open, spacious awareness, beyond fear and doubt, abiding in luminous equanimity, the path unfolds.